Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the live. I'm so glad that you guys are watching the replay. If you are watching the replay, make sure you say hey down below in the chat. I'm trying to see who's here. I'm trying to see what's up. So, today we're going to talk about an interesting topic. We're going to talk about generational narratives in marriage. So what does that even mean? You were told stories, you seen things in your family, things about your uncle, great aunt. These are things passed down through genetics sometimes, epigenetics. And we unfortunately repeat these cycles. We repeat these cycles subconsciously. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Let's see who all comes in the live tonight. And I'm going to put a question up. Okay, I'm going to put a question up. I'm going to think about a question. But before we get into the question, remember, my name is Meiana. I am a sage woman. I help men and women like you who are burnt out, overwhelmed, disconnected, overworked, return to themselves and their goals and their desires for themselves in this lifetime so that they can live life leisurely. We want to live life leisurely, experience leisurely activities in our day-to-day experiences so that we can self-actualize and become our best selves in this lifetime. So that's what I'm here for. If you are interested in doing that for yourself, whether it's so that you can get bad, beautiful, intelligent women, so that it can be that you can improve your financial mindset, or so that it can be just that you love yourself more every single day, go ahead and book a free 15-minute consultation in the link down below. I promise you in 15 minutes, I will hear one or more limiting beliefs that are holding you back from the things that you desire in this lifetime. So go ahead and do that for yourself. And we're going to go ahead and get into the question for today. I think that the question for today should be something like, have you ever repeated a family curse, like a generational curse? Have you seen yourself repeat a generational curse? Because I think that's what is the most interesting, and I most definitely have. And I feel like if you have not seen yourself repeat a generational curse, it's because you lack a sense of self-awareness. Because in some way, shape, or form, we are repeating what we saw in our childhood. So I'm going to go ahead and put that. Hopefully YouTube is working today. It is. We're going to do a Q&A. Have you repeated a... Oh, no. Hey, y'all. Repeated a generational curse. Tell me. What was it? What was it? Hey. Okay, there we go. Hi, Rayon. Is there such a thing as generalization curse? I don't know about generalization curse, but if you meant generational curses, there is a such thing to repeat those things which hold you back from the life that you desire, things that you've seen your family do, whatever that may be, whether it be addiction, whether it be whether it be relationships with certain things, like a city, a car. You know, maybe your grandma was scared to drive and now you don't like driving. That's a generational curse. Okay. Oh, hey, John. Hey. Hey, Zane. What if you don't know if you're cursed? I didn't say you were cursed. I never said anybody was cursed, y'all. No, I'm not. I never said anybody is cursed. That's not what I'm saying. I said generational curses. We are going to get into what that means, because just because I say generational curses does not mean that you are cursed. It just means that we are unintentionally in some way repeating something that was a negative experience in our childhood or in our family's life, and we are repeating it. Make sure you guys double tap the live. Double tap. Bloodline curse? No. I don't know. I mean, it can definitely go through genetics for sure. So it definitely can be transferred through genetics, but more like experiences. And I'm going to talk about what exactly I mean. Hi, Rico. I'm going to talk about exactly what I mean. We're going to start talking. I think everybody's here. Y'all came in tonight. Happy Monday. How's y'all's Monday going? How's y'all's Monday going? Y'all tell me. It's a good Monday. It really is. It is a good Monday. So, terrible. Oh my. Oh my, not a terrible Monday. So, oh my God. Okay, Rayon. So those is something that you've seen. Okay. Okay. Jaden says it's going great. Hey, GR. Thank you, Big Hurt. John, which one? Okay. Hey, Craig. How y'all doing today? Double tap the live, y'all. How y'all doing? It's good to see y'all. Okay. Okay. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to you. It's good to see y'all. Happy Monday. We're going to talk about it. Now, mind y'all, I'm not going to lie. I have some information on this. I'm more focused on a certain thing. And I know you guys have heard me talk about this book before. The book is called It Did Not Start With You. So if you guys want to know where I'm getting this information from, where my mind is coming from with this information, is from the book It Did Not Start With You. I really enjoy that book. That book really allowed me to become a lot more self-aware than what I was realizing before I read the book. And reading the book definitely made me realize the amount of generational curses that I repeated, especially just experiences that I repeated just through hearing stories. Literally, just through hearing stories that had no conclusion, I repeated experiences in my personal life passed down from grandparents, great-grandparents, etc., etc. So it really taught me the importance of concluding stories that you tell your children, that you tell people. Have a conclusion that is positive to the story. What's something you learned the hard way that completely changed how you see people? Don't let nobody show you who they are more than once. The first time somebody shows up late, that's who they are. The first time somebody cancels on you 5 minutes before y'all supposed to be at a place, that's who they are. I do not play when it comes to people not respecting my time. If people do not respect your time, they do not respect you, nor do they respect themselves, and be wary of those people. I don't care if they have anxiety. I'm working some. Okay, GR, okay, get to work. I love that for you. Hey, Nasir, welcome back, welcome back. A lot of people who have alcoholism or abusive family tend to repeat it. Not all, but a lot do. Yes, I agree with that. I agree. It's unfortunate. Hey, DRK, welcome back, welcome back. You're over the rev engine away from... Okay. Shout out to all the people who's like so far. We're not even 10 minutes in. I appreciate you guys. I know you guys are ready to hear the conversation. Now, the question for today that we have is, have you repeated a generational curse? Tell me. And I'll tell you guys as well. So when someone shows you who they are the first time, what makes you give them the second chance? It's not a second chance. It's just you an acknowledging. I acknowledge that's who you are, and I make my decisions based off of what I want for my life. So if you know, somebody just talked about alcoholism, you know that you don't want to be around people who drink significantly, like they drink overly than what you would like for them to do, or for what you would like for yourself to do. You get around somebody who drinking all the time or every day, that's your first sign to say, okay, I ain't gotta not like you as an individual. I just know that I'm not gonna deal with you the same way that I would deal with somebody else who doesn't drink as much. Right? I'm just not gonna be around you. It's a high and by. That's really all. Hey, user. Is that William? Oh, that you said Will Green. There you go. Hey, Will Green. Don't repeat it, break it. Yes, it's hard because it can feel so innate, but take conscious work. And I mean, it's just self-awareness. Once you're self-aware and you say, oh, I did that, I mean, just acknowledge it, be aware, and then make a decision about what you would prefer to do next time. So I got a couple of stories. Now, these are more personal stories, so I'm trying to figure out which one I would like to tell you guys. Because some of the stories that I know that I repeated unintentionally are more personal. And I don't know, I wouldn't feel comfortable saying this just on live. Do you think keep the distance protect your peace, or does it slowly build walls you can't take down later? I don't know, Emmanuel. You got to give me exactly who you talking about. Why are you asking these direct questions? You'll never be that way, and I'm not? Okay, yeah. I love that for you, Tamara. Let's get into it. We're at the 10-minute mark, so let's go ahead and get into the conversation. Now, mind you, we're talking about childhood trauma and generational narratives in marriage. So if you guys don't know, because I know a couple of years ago, if somebody would have said narratives to me, I'm like, narratives? What is a narrative? Narratives are just stories. You tell yourself stories every single day. It's a story, right? And so you grew up hearing stories in your childhood. I mean, if you were communicating, because I know not all parents talk to their children about their lives or what was going on. But if you were in communication with somebody in your family who you raised around telling you about what was going on in your family, those are narratives. Those are stories that you were told. So if you were told, oh, you used to have an uncle who was a drunk who used to stand on the corner. Now, even if you never met this uncle, this is a story that's playing in the back of your mind for the rest of your life, whether you knew this man or not, and this man feels familiar. Does that make sense to y'all? You just like to ask deep questions? Okay. And unintentionally, as an adult, that story can play out and you could react to that same story in your adulthood. Never have met this man in your whole entire life, but you just heard one story. And because you know that's your family member, you have an emotional connection to the story. And now it's replaying in some form of a way in your future. So that can mean you knew that you had an uncle who's a drunk, or however you felt about that story. In your future, you may now be more prone to, let me go and give money to the people on the corner because I know I had an uncle who was a drunk, who was standing on the corner. Let me go help people out because I have some emotional connection. That's just one way out of a million ways that you could react to that story as an adult. Now, mind you, we're talking about these things in marriage, right? So I want you guys to think, okay, when you partner up with an individual, you guys partner up, you have two different people with two different backgrounds, two different parents, four different grandparents. It's so many stories that you guys are bringing into the marriage, especially if both of the parents were married or if multiple people in the family is married. Now y'all have a whole idea and a whole story of what marriage is supposed to look like. I guess first of all, is the illness hereditary? What? What? Am I missing something? Oh, how do you think childhood abuse shapes the way people define love and what they accept in marriage? That is like you said, you ask very deep questions. You come from parents that are still married. Like you said, you ask very deep questions, friend, because that is so many ways that could affect marriage. It's so many ways. I can't really even just say one, honestly. So let's start with the book that I want to talk about because I really enjoyed the book and I'm going to talk about it for the rest of my life because I want you guys to read it as well. So let me see. So one of the stories that they talked about. Now, basically what this book discusses is narratives that happen in the family that were passed down and how they subconsciously affected individuals in their lifetime. And they did not realize what was going on until they did the work and realized it's a generational narrative being told, and I'm unintentionally recreating this narrative in my story. I love the community in the chat. I love how y'all are communicating. There we go. So, one of the stories, and I'm going to tell you a couple of them. There wasn't a lot about marriage in this book particularly, but I want to still use this book so you guys can understand where I'm coming from. So one of the stories was a man in jail. He was in jail for a crime he did not commit, right? And he discovered that he was unconsciously paying the price for a murder his father had been acquitted for generations earlier. So father did something, and then because the guilt and shame passed down through him, now has the guilt and shame. He's paying for the crimes by being jailed, right? Another one was a woman who felt sudden indifference towards her husband, found that she was entangled with her grandmother, and her grandmother had lost her husband tragically at the same age. So at the same age that she started to disconnect from her husband, her grandmother lost her husband at that same age. Does that make sense? And so even just thinking about that, we talked yesterday about different reasons why people get divorced. Well, what if as an individual you are in a family of people who get divorced, and most of your family members get divorced around 25? You get married, now you may unintentionally recreate that same story of getting divorced because that's all you know, and you are not being conscious or aware enough to redirect your life towards where you want it to be. Another one was, this was very interesting. I thought this one was interesting. A woman who had claustrophobia. So somebody asked about illnesses being passed down. Here's an example of that. A woman with claustrophobia, she was not able to ride in planes or even elevators. She made the connection to her father's parents who died in gas chambers. So because they had that experience generations before her, she's unintentionally recreating that narrative in her life by now having claustrophobia, because that is the same emotional state that her lineage, what do you call it, her family members, her ancestors, that's what I'm trying to say, her ancestors experienced. So that same emotion, that emotional state is being passed down to her. Now, I'm not seeing the story that I thought was one of the most interesting right now, so I'm just telling y'all from my memory. But one of the ones that I thought was the most interesting was a guy who had insomnia. So he had insomnia. It just started out of the blue, and he would just get really cold. He could not go to sleep. So once he started going to this therapist who wrote this book, they found out that the guy had an uncle who died on top of one of those like telephone poles, and he froze to death on the telephone pole. And so the guy started having insomnia around the same age that his uncle had died and passed away, repeating a generational narrative. Whether that was something that was verbally said to these individuals, that these are the things that happened, and then they started to repeat these narratives and then be physically affected by it, or whether it was just genetics, they knew nothing about it. Obviously, these people figured out what was going on, so somebody knew about the story enough for them to tell them, and then they repeated it. And period. Good thing about generational curses, there are also curse breakers, period. Okay, congratulations to you, Taff. So those are the stories that I wanted to talk about, because when it comes to marriage, you don't know if you are not doing the work to pay attention to what's going on and pay attention to what you've been told as you were growing up. You will not know what you are repeating. Not even only that, let me show you guys something. What is it called? Not even only that, we talk about You Are Programmed all the time, because that is a book that I tell everybody y'all need to read. Go buy You Are Programmed and go read it, because you are not just programmed by your mom, dad, grandma, or grandpa. You have so many other things around you giving you narratives and stories about how you should live life, and you are unintentionally recreating the narratives that you are given by the people around you. Hello, thank you, thank you. Thank you, y'all. So if y'all can see this, right? So this is the graph that talks about who you are and what programs you to be who you are. So individually, you are described based on your age, your sex, your health, your abilities. You're described as your height, anything physical features, all these things is what describes you as an individual. Then you go outside of you and you have your parents, siblings. You even go even further. You got school, you have your community, your peers, your neighborhood. Even outside of that, you have religious systems, whatever mass media is at the time, however old you are. And then even outside of that, you'll have just the time frame that you live in. We are in 2025. Do y'all not think that if you was placed in a different era of life, you will be a completely different person? You would, because you will be interacting with completely different things. Now, when you think about this, you have two individuals coming in with all of this information, all of these programmings, all of these stories being told by all of these people around them, creating, which unintentionally creates who they are and how they decide what they want for them, for their lives. They come together and they're supposed to become one, become a union. Do you know how much work that is to become a union? It's consistent. It's never going to be a one and done thing where you guys, okay, we talked about these generational curses and, that's just what it is. We moving on. No, you're going to be talking about these for the rest of your life. You're going to have about 8,000 conversations about the same thing when you're married. I'm not even married, and I just know already you're probably going to have the same conversation multiple times. And I don't like when people are rude to me. I don't like when people are rude to me. There's no reason to be rude. There's no reason to be rude. Okay, Tab, you got to do what you got to do, baby. Hey, Mr. Turtle Duck, you got to do what you got to do. Okay. Make sure y'all like the live, y'all. Make sure y'all like the live. So you have two different people who are coming in, and they have, now we had that whole conversation, right? You have two people coming in with their own idea of what love is, right? Okay, friend, you gotta do what you gotta do. With their own idea of what love is. What do y'all think love is? Y'all tell me in the chat. High Tower. Okay, friend, thank you. It's okay to do everything opposite of what I say. I am not your God. You don't have to do anything that I say. You should also definitely think about what I say before even trying anything I say, honestly. Let's be critical thinkers in the chat. Think about what I say. You can always disagree. I love it. Let's talk more about it. Hello, Dr. Zeus. Welcome back. Welcome back. High Tower said love is a good connection with chemistry. Mr. Turtle Duck said, what is love? Tab said, love will get you hurt. Oh, my. Miguel said, I don't know nothing about love, eh? Okay. I'm in love with the game. Okay. Now, mind you, y'all coming in, this is y'all's beliefs around love. Now, imagine you have somebody who comes in who says, well, my parents weren't really around. And only time I saw my parents were if we were taking a trip and they would buy me stuff and then they would send me back to boarding school. What is their idea of love? Y'all get in a relationship, y'all have two different ideas of love, right? But y'all know that y'all attracted to each other, y'all like each other, y'all want to be together, but y'all have two different ideas of love. How do y'all come together with that background knowledge? How do y'all come together with that background knowledge? How do y'all bond together knowing that y'all have two different meanings for what love is? How does that even work? So one thing about it, when it comes to trauma, generational narratives being repeated in your family, early attachments show a lot about how people engage in marriage. Somebody said, she make me fried chicken wings. That's love. You must be a Taurus. Taurus moon, Taurus sun, which one? You don't love is conditional. Better have a sit down. No, for real. So, we had this conversation. I believe we had this conversation in the Love and Belonging series about attachment styles. I'm not going to go into all the attachment styles here. But, we know secure, anxious, avoidant, disorganized are some of the attachment styles that are out there. So this forms how we attach to people in our adulthood. So, you're with a girl and she constantly calling you all day, every day, every night, asking you what you're doing. What you doing? Where you at? She most likely has an anxious attachment style. She needs to know what's going on in order to be attached to you, to feel like she's safe in your relationship. An occasional hug is crazy. An occasional hug is crazy. Sound like your girl. I thought you said you ain't got no girl. See, Tab, you be all over the place. Clingy, for real. But that's the attachment style, right? So, a lot of times, especially if you don't do a lot of inner work, if you're not self-aware, you're not trying to overcome the things that you were programmed to be, hey, Jared, you will mirror an attachment style that you got in your childhood. Most of the time, it will be from your mother. But I would agree. I would feel like you could mirror attachment styles from anybody. You can mirror attachment styles from your dad, your mom, your grandparents. Would it be wrong to get back with your ex? You do what you want to do, friend. She said, I'm not. Oh my God. This is Tab. This is the same one who you scared of. You be deleting messages because you scared she gonna find you on YouTube while you married to another woman. Oh my. Hello. Oh my, y'all are scaring me in the chat. Okay. So y'all know the picture that I just showed you guys. Let me see if I can explain this in a way that doesn't confuse me when I explain it. Because sometimes I start explaining stuff, I get confused. And I'm like, do they understand what I'm saying? So I'm about to try to explain something to you guys. So you guys see this, right? Right? This is how the relationships that you have. Thank you, Movie High Club. I hope your day's going well as well. So let's say you create a bond with people based on the concepts that you have about them. So you are programmed, let's say, by your grandmother. Your grandmother is an Hispanic older woman with short hair and a strong accent. Now you loved your grandmother so much and she made you tamales. Now, when you come across women who favor your grandmother, they share the same concepts with your grandmother, you're going to have the same mindset about those people, right? You don't know anything about this woman whatsoever. But now you have formed an attachment to this lady because of your relationship with your relationship with your grandmother. Does that make sense, y'all? Shout out to Turkey. She was quick with the, okay. Oh my. Okay. So that is a way in which we recreate bonds that we formed in our childhood unintentionally. It's the same way that you feel comfortable around the people that you was raised with. So anybody who reminds you of your family, if you liked your family, you're going to want to be around them. If you did not like your family, if people remind you of your family, you're not going to want to be with them. Imagine, like, I'm about to say something. Imagine people who date outside of their race, right? Who had a terrible relationship with their mother. You can see this. I've seen this personally. A lot of men who have terrible relationship with their mother, they form an identity towards women who share that same concept. They're like, oh my God, my mom is an Asian woman. Let's just say this. We're gonna say Asian woman. And I had such a terrible relationship with her. I never want to date an Asian woman again. That's how far your attachments can go, depending on who you are, what you do. What about a terrible relationship with your stepmom? I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Y'all asking silly questions. A publication to improve my English accent. Okay, friend. High Tower said the confessions in this chat is off the chain. Man, they be? That makes sense though, low key. Bad habits passed down from generation to generation. And mind you, Abdul Lagor, if you fall in love with a different woman every day, that means you are unstable. You are emotionally and mentally unstable. So Eli said facts. I only date snow bunnies because of that reason. Okay. Love that, the honesty in the chat. Happy girl. Hey, happy girl. Hey, Lauren. Wait, what am I missing? Okay. Hey, Toxic Hussein. Okay. Tab said, I love all women now. College helps. Okay. Love that for you. Love that for you. So you see how even through marriage and finding the partner that you want to be with, how much it could be shaped by your family lineage, by your experiences as a child. Oh, okay. If y'all love women so much, remember the Cash App is in the chat. It's money sign, the letter L, Nina, 1. Money sign, LNINA, 1. If you guys love women so much, make sure you donate to the channel. We outside tonight. We outside tonight. Yes. East or west, Meiana is best. Okay, I love it. I love it. I love it. All the time glossy. Okay, yes, hey. Okay. So, research has confirmed, and this is from 2016, that, where are we at? Attachment predicts communication style, empathy, and emotional regulation in marriage. So essentially how we were held, comforted, or ignored as children teaches us what to expect from love. So when you go into your marriages, you really want to know, what type of attachment is this lady? What type of attachment is this man that I'm dealing with? Because that's going to affect how this person even can hear what you're saying. Like I told you, communication is so important in a marriage. So if you have someone who's anxious, you could be saying, I'm going to go to the store I'll be back in 10 minutes. And because they're used to their daddy who went to the grocery store and never came back, they're thinking, this person is lying. I'm going to follow them to the store. Y'all see how people can hear you differently just based off their attachment styles? Would that be strange if you were to start an affair? If you start an affair, that means you are a cheater. Be honest with the lady that you're with and just tell her upright and see what happens. Be a PIMP, baby. PIMP. Always be honest. If you're really that guy, you can do whatever you want and be honest about it. I knew men personally who would be in the bed with a lady and on the phone with a lady at the same time. Be a real PIMP. What's going on with you? Be a real nigga. So, anywho. So, Tab, you better stop. You better stop or your girl come beat you up. Were you ever a player? I don't know. I would never call myself that. I don't know. So, you know, the way people love you and how they love themselves and the people, their relationships, Rico's talking about, don't ask me how I know. Y'all, please, y'all, it's just so funny to me because I don't know. It's something about like being in a committed relationship with somebody and then that's when you decide to like lie and stuff. Like, it's like, just do what you want to do. Like polygamy, polyamory, those are real things. Those are real relationships. Real people go and live that lifestyle every day. It is marriages out there, and I wouldn't suggest it. Not me, but I wouldn't suggest it. But there are people out there who are married who engage in polygamous activities, polyamory activities. Like, if that's what you want, go do it, y'all. Have fun. Be honest with your partner. Okay, Ab, I'm about to ignore you for the rest of the chat, Ab. I'm just about to ignore you. I'm not listening to you no more. Black said, ladies. Mind you, Black, it's not a lot of ladies in the chat. But Black said, ladies, you be knowing 100 ways to catch a man cheating, but don't know 3 ways to keep a man happy. I'm sorry that that's your experience. So, again, love is a learned behavior. Love is a learned behavior. And you have to learn in partnership and in marriage, how did my partner learn to love? Because love is a form of communication. I know you guys told me what love was to you guys, but in etymology, the definition of love is to care and to desire. So what is it that your partner cares about? What is it that your partner desires for themselves and for your relationship? Bye, Marco. Good night. Good night, y'all. Okay. So, you know, when you're young, when you're a child, you internalize. What that means is you take in what you hear, what you see, and you make sense of it for yourself. You internalize if you say parents were critical. You internalize whatever chaos was going on or whatever positivity was going on in your life. You know, not everybody grew up with trauma, and we have to acknowledge that not everybody grew up with that. So you take in those things and you repeat what happened. So if you grew up, and we talked about this yesterday or a few days ago with the communication chat or the communication video, where one of the things that will kill a marriage is criticism. Being criticized, having a communication style that is highly critical to your loved one. That will kill a relationship. That will kill your partnership or your spousal relationship. We're going to start using spousal. Since one of the people in the chat said it's spousal, it's a spouse. So you internalize that as a kid. You unintentionally don't know what you're doing because that's all you knew. All you knew is that when every time you dressed up in a cute outfit, you go to your parents and your mom says, "Oh my God, your shoes are dirty." You don't know that, oh my God, that's all I received with criticism, nothing else. So now when you see people, whether they look amazing, you don't know how to just say you look amazing. Now you have to pinpoint the one thing that's wrong with the picture. Do y'all ever find yourself doing that? Tab said, "Mamas be hating crazy." You say you grew up in trauma, but control trauma from a young age. I can now order it to do whatever I want. Some mamas be looking good. Okay. Okay. So that is a way that you unintentionally repeat that cycle in your adulthood, even in marriage. You had a mama who you never received just a plain compliment. Everything the lady said to you came with some type of critique. So now you unintentionally have to say critiques in whatever you say to your spouse. Your spouse is like, oh my God, yes, I'm so excited to get this new car. And then all you can say is, those wheels are not the best wheels to have on a car. Right? So, even just that type of communication style that can be passed on in your family, even the communication style that can be passed on to your family could be considered a generational curse. If anything that's a generational curse is going to be anything that is not beneficial to who you want to be in this lifetime. Health wise, mindset wise, physical wise, career wise, if it's not beneficial to who you want to be, it's a generational curse. If it's holding your family back and destroying y'all's ability to grow and prosper, it's holding you back, that's a generational curse. Hey, Pro Life. So, so studies show that intergenerational continuity in conflict resolution styles is a direct reflection of how you can argue in your adulthood. So here's one. I can tell you guys this. So I don't really remember I grew up around a lot of fighting. People who fought a lot as a child. I grew up around that a lot. So for me, I learned that when you have conflict, the only way you can get over the conflict is to fight physically. It wasn't just arguing. Arguing led to physical fighting. So as a child, because I got to an age where I was like, I don't really want to fight no more, the way that I would handle conflict was, well, if this person pisses me off, the only way I know to deal with this situation is to fight. So I'm just going to cut you off and never talk to you again. Right? So my conflict resolution style as an adult was heavily created and shifted and dealt with based off of what I knew. Now, with therapy, journaling, being self-reflecting, I learned that conflict resolution does not mean that you have to fight or flight. There is a middle ground to conflict resolution as an adult, and that's communication. You know, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but if let's just say I was in a marriage, I would have to communicate this with my partner so that when my partner sees me going back to what I knew, they can communicate and say, hey, this is what I'm seeing. Is this how you want to handle it? You know, I know we're both aware of your generational trauma and my generational trauma. Is this how we want to handle this? And y'all can consciously make a new decision on how you handle conflict in a relationship. No, I was not a fighter. As a child, maybe, but as an adult, no. Put them paws on. I cannot. But y'all ain't never dealt with that? Y'all didn't come from a family that fought all the time? Okay. No, just buy a bucket of hot wings and share it. That's an interesting way to get over conflict. Because I'm going to have to tell you, don't do that shit again. No, I'm playing. I wouldn't do that. Yeah, we all working on it. What about y'all? That's a story that I can definitely tell. Hey, Red Tatter. Period, and Meiana. John, I'm sick of you. So, you know, when we talk about generational narrative, generational curses being repeated in marriage, this is what we're talking about. You are directly affected by what you've seen in your childhood, and it's going to affect how you deal in your partnership. And in partnership, we want to be conscious creators in our life. We want to be intentional when we bond and we unite and create a union, a sacred union with another individual. We want to communicate these things so people know what's going on. Thank you, Red. Okay, or good looks, period. Good looks. And so even beyond that, there's a thing called family emotional script. So that operates like an invisible playbook. If y'all watch sports, y'all know what a playbook is. So each family has rules for emotional expression: who can speak, who must stay silent, who fixes the tension. According to family systems theory that was created in 1978, these emotional roles maintain homeostasis but may later restrict marital authenticity if left unexamined. So you come from a family where you was always, let's say you had a lot of siblings, and in your siblings you had someone who was carefree and did whatever they want and never really cared about nothing. You had others who always argued, and then you ended up always being the middleman who was always trying to fix everybody and make sure everybody was okay. Or even you were the oldest, and then your mindset was always, I need to take care of my little siblings, I need to make sure they're okay. When you get into marriage, you're still going to unintentionally, if you have not done the work to overcome this and shift this programming for yourself, you're going to unintentionally recreate this narrative. So if you're the one who is always trying to fix everybody, when your partner comes in and has issues, you're going to go into fixing mode and try to fix it. Well, is that what your partner needs? No, most likely not. They probably just need somebody who's going to listen, right? So as another example of how we can recreate the stories that who we experience as children into our marital relationships. Survival of the fittest. Okay. So even beyond that, more stories. I was just talking to my grandmother, and I was asking her, was there anything that she recreated, any narratives that she passed down? And she told me fixing her husband's plate. She said that she grew up with a mom who fixed her husband's plate, and when she got into the marriage with my grandfather, she don't fix his plate. She never fixed his plate. Solely, she said one of the main reasons is because they had a lot of kids to take care of. But she grew up thinking, as a wife, I have to fix my husband's plate. And she did it at one moment, and then in another moment, she didn't do it. So that is a generational narrative that's passed down about what is my role as a wife. Does that really mean that just because you're married to this individual that your role as a wife is to fix his plate? No, you have to create a shared meaning in your relationship. So if your partner says, hey, actually, growing up, I saw my dad do this. It really means a lot to me. It shows us a sense of respect. I would love for my wife to do this. Now you have to find a way to compromise. That's just one generational narrative about what an individual's role is. Another one is men must provide. Now that's also society as well that creates that narrative. And I think, again, that's one of those things where you have to make a decision about what you want in your relationship. This is what happens when two people come together and create a union. Y'all have the opportunity to co-create life as a unit. So if that's what you want in your partnership, then that's what you should get. If that's what you want, you should get it. And if that's not what you want, you shouldn't get it, right? Because everybody has a different mindset about what they want. Another one is women must endure pain and suffering. Women have to endure pain and suffering. We have to have children. We have to have periods. So we must suffer. So unintentionally, you may feel the same way when you're married. I shouldn't speak up because I have to suffer it regardless, right? So that unintentionally keeps you silent, not realizing that's a generational narrative that you've seen. And you don't have to live by the rules that are not supportive to who you want to be, right? Okay. So those are a few things, how we internalize stories, how we internalize what we see, and we forget that we are conscious human beings in this world that can really do what we want to do, right? I would say as long as it's supportive and beneficial to the community at large. Friend, I'm about to put you on mute for a little bit because you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot in the chat. I'll give you 5 minutes to regroup. Regroup and breathe. Regroup and breathe, y'all. Regroup and breathe. So, yeah. So we have unconscious, unspoken generational rules being spoken to us about how we should live our life. And that's one of the reasons why we should take breaks from the internet, take breaks from society, so that we can get to a point of who am I and what do I want. And that's another part about being autonomous, is knowing and being self-aware about what you want. Being self-aware about what you want and where you're going, and what you want even for your family. Because once you take that break to regroup and get to know who you want and what you want for your life, you can come back and consciously partner up with another individual who is as aware as you are. And so you have to take time to identify these inherited beliefs and stories that you receive from your family, whether it's about your great uncle in 1800s who was on the railroad, who got his foot ran over, and now you have an unconscious fear of your feet being ran over, right? Or whether it's about your cousin who worked at the Dollar General who always getting robbed. You know, these are things that you want to pay attention to. And I would also advocate for you guys to think about stories that you heard as a child that had an uneasy ending for you. Anything that made you feel uncomfortable, the ending that just did not sit right with you, you will probably have to think about it for a while. Are just things that felt like, okay, I didn't really like that story, because there is a high chance that you could repeat those exact stories. In my opinion, I believe that as individuals, we are always trying to make sense of the world around us. So if you hear a story that does not make sense to you, you're going to unconsciously walk around trying to make the story make sense. And I say that because as an individual, I've had different stories that I've heard in my family, and I realized, oh my God, I have recreated that story literally to a T, right? I wish I would tell you guys this story if I was if we had like a community, like a closed off community, like somewhere else. I would be a little bit more open to tell the stories. I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable saying it with, just on the live. But I'm emphasizing that it's highly possible because I've experienced it myself, and through the work is what allowed me to acknowledge that this is what was happening. I will say, one of the things that I find interesting though is how adults in the family will try to protect children by not telling children about what's going on in the family, right? And that unintentionally recreates the same trauma that occurred in those adults. So one instance I can say for sure is like abusive behavior. I know somebody said this earlier in the chat too. Abusive behavior. I know somebody who did not know that the women in their family went through abuse. They did not know it whatsoever. They didn't even believe it could be possible. But it was highly possible, and it was factual that these same women went through abuse, and they just did not let this individual know. That same individual became an abusive person because the people did not communicate what was happening genetically. That individual just recreated what they unconsciously knew, right? So that's definitely one example that I can tell you guys, and it happens so easily. You don't know why you do the things that you do, but your grandma and your grandpa and your aunts and uncles know stories about things, and they just didn't tell you and put you on game. Okay, friend. Hey, Byron, welcome back. Did you subscribe, Byron? You talking about you found me. Did you just subscribe? So Again, a curse is a term that we're going to use to describe things that repeat unintentionally. We have no intentions of doing it, but it repeats and it reveals an ancestral or childhood trauma. And we have to find a way to overcome it, to master this, so that we can end it and move on with our lives, right? So we can definitely pass trauma through stories, through behavior, consistent behavior. We can pass trauma through genetics, all those things. It's hard but possible, yeah. It takes a lot of self-awareness. And even like one time I did this a long time ago. I did this a long time ago where I wrote letters to my to family members. And it wasn't my close family members. It was my, like, I don't know how you would call it, like secondary family members, like great aunts and great uncles and like third cousins. Like I didn't do like my first primary family or even like that secondary family. I did like the people. I don't know how to describe the type of family. I hope y'all getting what I'm saying. But I wrote letters to them and I was like, wow. I never really thought about how much I thought about these people. Like how much of my beliefs were created by knowing these people. How much of my beliefs were created by knowing these people. And I didn't really just see them all the time. I seen them maybe every holiday, every now and again. But I definitely collected a lot of beliefs about life from these people. Even that can reveal a lot of what your beliefs and how you, any trauma that could be passed on. If you just write a letter to these people and be honest in the letter and then burn it. I don't know, get rid of it because you don't need it after that. So I did a lot of that like years ago. Okay, app. So it's definitely a good time if you want to prepare for marriage is to just start becoming more aware of any of those generational curses, unresolved trauma that you see, whether that is, oh my God, I have a critical family. If you can say I have a critical family, or I have a overweight family, or I have a depressed family, or I have a family of people who have mental illnesses, those are already generational traumas that could most definitely be passed through your lineage if you do not become aware and overcome these things. If you don't try to figure out, well, what was the starting point of the bullshit, you know? And sometimes you do have to, you know, reparent yourself, re-soothe yourself, re-love yourself. And in a marriage, you have to heal together. Because just because you get married at 35 years old does not mean that you're a perfect individual. Does not mean that you've overcome all of your traumas. You may, just like we talked about that story earlier about the lady who all of a sudden out of the blue, she did not want to be around her husband. She was disengaged with her husband. But she found out that at that same age, when she experienced that, was the same age that her grandmother had lost her husband. So she unintentionally disconnected from her husband because she was repeating a generational story. So, girl, I low-key just forgot where I was going. Oh, so you have to stay on track of co-healing with your partner and remembering that sometimes these reactions, they may not be hormonal. They may not be just physical health and sickness and all those things. Some of these are just unresolved traumas and narratives that are subconsciously playing a role in how your partner, your spouse, is relating to you. Exactly, Rico. And so you guys have to co-regulate. Get in the, what is it called? Get in the rhythm together. Regulate your nervous system together. Because it's going to take a lot of empathy, respect, love, and a desire to maintain the relationship to overcome some of these issues that come up. Especially if your partner is reacting to something that they don't even know why they're doing it. You're in a relationship, you're in a marriage with your spouse, and they don't even know why they are feeling a way that they're feeling. That takes a lot of empathy to push through those moments. Byron, what? I don't get that, Byron. I don't get it. So remember, a lot of times we attract what's familiar because we are human beings and we want to survive. And human beings realize in order to survive, we have to stay away from things that we don't know. It's highly likely that thing could harm me because I don't know nothing about it. So I'm just going to do what I know. What's familiar, what's always made me feel safe. So even if it's not healthy, you're going to do what's familiar to you. So you had a critical mom. You don't know what it feels like, what it is to have a mom who was never critical to you. So you get around somebody who doesn't criticize you, you may start feeling uncomfortable around that person. Because you're like, you're not going to criticize me? You're not going to tell me that I need to tie my shoes? You must not love me. Because now you associate love to criticism. And now you're upset with your partner unconsciously because you feel like you don't love me because you're not criticizing me, but you don't know how to communicate that because it's like you don't even realize how much of an impact your mom had on your attachment styles. Hey, Keeper. See? And remember that trauma bonding is so easy to do, especially as an unconscious individual who is not intentionful about their life altogether. Trauma bonding is one of the easiest things to do. It's one of the easiest things to do. So you get in a relationship with somebody because y'all both had absent mothers, right? You are emotionally connected to this person because you realize that, oh my God, they feel the same way that I feel. And now I'm emotionally connected to them and I feel like this is love and I feel like we're supposed to be together. No, y'all just trauma bonded. And now that's the only thing that's keeping y'all connected because y'all share that same emotional tune, that same emotional rhythm. Ab said trauma bonding is the most difficult thing to do. Okay. Or it could be, oh my God, we both came from churches and we both are no longer religious and we both hate the church because of whatever the church did to us. Now we're trauma bonding over that. What trauma bonding can only get you so far. Trauma bonding can only get you so far. Because now the relationship is based on a low vibrational emotion and experience. And that's where it's going. Because that's the seed of the relationship, that's the only way that it can grow. Until y'all get serious help. Therapy. Seriously. It could definitely put y'all in addictive cycles. You know, let's say you're already married. You married up somebody that you trauma bonded with. You're going to have to go through serious therapy to create a new seed for the relationship, to create a new direction of where this relationship is going to go. And again, that's because our souls, our energy, human beings, we seek familiar experiences in people and things that resemble what we seen in our childhood, whatever that may be. Holland. Okay, Ab, you're the first person that I met from Holland. I think that if I meet anybody else from Holland, I might block them. I just might. The way you acting a fool in these chats. Hey, Early baby, how are you? How you doing, baby? So, y'all are white. I figured. Y'all ain't got no black people in Holland? Where the black people at? Okay, okay, okay. So, those are some of the things that I wanted to talk about and really get to the nitty gritty when it came to this conversation. I think, again, just like every other conversation, this conversation can go on and on and on for the rest of our lives. But I think that I want to stop there with this because I feel like I said a lot. So, in conclusion, when it comes to generational curses and narratives in marriages, you want to be very empathetic with your partner the same way that you would like empathy, and pay attention and communicate about stories and experiences, and be aware that every story that your partner has heard as well as that you have heard is in some way, shape, or form creating a life in their personal life. Holland, Texas. You said a lot. You were talking the entire time. Exactly. Thanks for increasing engagements. I love it. So we all have generational curses that we have a chance of passing down because we're reacting to it in some way, shape, or form. Pay attention to how you're reacting to these things. Are you trying to ignore it? Ignoring something is a reaction. Are you facing it head on? Are you doing a therapy? Are you journaling? Are you engaging with it and crying about it? Are you anxious about it? It's going to tell you a lot in how you partner or how you are as a spouse. Yes, Ab. I wish I could ignore you. I wish I could have did it better. I'm working on ignoring. I'm working on it, y'all. I'm working on it. So is there anything else that y'all want to talk about before we get off today? What y'all think about the conversation? Any generational curses that you guys have seen in your own personal life? How do you think that you're going to deal with generational curses in your marriage? Anything that may happen? Because what if one day your wife up and wakes up and she don't want to be around you no more? She don't know why. Exactly, Keeper. Exactly. So, I mean, it's a lot of work you got to do to be a conscious human being. It's not always that easy. You don't have that curse in your life. I love that for you. I love that for you. Y'all, I wish I could see my baby. He's just laying down. It's a genuine question because I have been in here. What's your genuine question, baby? I don't see a genuine question. Where do you put a question at? Oh, what is a generational curse? I see it now. I see it now, girl. A generational curse is something that continues in your family that most of the time is unconscious, subconscious, and it passes through the generations, and it's unsupportive. It could be a limiting belief. It could be a way that y'all communicate. It could be an experience. So, like, let's just say, like for black community, in the black community, or not black community. No, that's a good one. Black community. Sexual assault for young women is high, right? That's a generational curse that may go through family members, or like, this is not just with black people, because I know people of all races actually go through this, but like, protecting the abuser is a generational curse, or like, being afraid to speak up could be a generational curse. It could be anything. It just solely depends on the type of family you go through, but it's just something that's not supportive to who you want to be as an individual, or that's something that you keep seeing in your family pass through time. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but we all have some type of generational curse. It's a cat. Oh, you dog, not a baby, not a you dog, not a you dog. Good night, Kiefer. He getting on my nerves. Who getting on your nerves? She beat me to it. Oh, I don't know what's going on. You said we not black. I am Muslim. But you know I'm black, Byron. Did you know that? Did you know I'm a black person? My son black too. Come here, son. He not listening. He not listening, y'all. But yeah, y'all, that's all I got. Shout out to all the white people in the chat. Black Panther. Period. Early, you are so hilarious. Oh my god. Y'all, so I know I've been eating a lot. Like, I started eating at Outback Steakhouse. I never used to eat there before. Have y'all ever eaten at Outback Steakhouse? Have y'all ever eaten there? It's actually not bad. Like, the first time, and I never used to eat steak. Like, I never used to eat steak. I never ate steak until like within the past couple of years I started eating steak. And I actually really like it. I really like it. And I started realizing I actually have to eat more steak. Because I used to have you know, like when you get cold very easily. My iron used to be low. I used to get cold so easily. I used to eat ice too. Like in my hobby, I used to love eating ice. And so yeah, I realized, oh my god, like I actually have so much more energy after I eat a steak. Texas Steakhouse? Texas Steakhouse? I don't think I ever heard of that. I heard of Texas Roadhouse. You went back in, man? Utah. Hey, Utah. So, yeah, I'm about to make, because I'm about to start eating more like red meats, I think that it gives me energy because I be so tired sometimes, and it's because I don't eat enough red meat. That's what I think. Because I was not feeling that well. Then I ate the Outback Steakhouse. I ate me a little lamb. What was it? It was, I forgot what it's called, but it was a little piece of steak. And then I ate it, and I had so much more energy. I was like ready to take on a day. So I'm about to start eating more steak, y'all. So if y'all start seeing me get like, I don't know what steak do to you. It do something. New York strip. I don't think it was called that. Because the first time that I went to Outback Steakhouse, I got like their cheapest steak. Because it was my first time, so I got like the cheap one just to see, and I did not like it. So the second time I went back and I got the more expensive one, and I was like, okay, this is actually good. I'm gonna tell you what it is, Airly. Do I like brisket? Yeah, I love me some brisket. Is brisket red meat? I don't know for sure. Because you don't eat red meat. Yeah, I didn't used to. I'm starting to eat more red meat. Don't get the gout. I don't even know what that is. Earlier, you was talking about Texas Roadhouse. Texas Roadhouse is definitely really good. Pork chops. I haven't eaten a pork chop in a minute, but I will eat a pork chop, especially a fried pork chop. So the one that I had was a filet steak, filet mignon. I don't know. It was good though. The one I had last time was a sirloin. I didn't like that. I will probably never get a sirloin again. It wasn't good. Have you ever been iron deficient? I've never been tested for it, but I think that I used to. I think I used to be, because I used to be cold all the time. Drink wine. I'm allergic to wine. I haven't drunk wine in like 4 years. I'm a little allergic to it. But yeah, I'm gonna start eating me some more filet mignons. I hope I'm saying that right, because it's really delicious. It's steak season. This is the importance of being child free, because I can afford to eat steak whenever I want to. Exciting. Nah, I'm just joking. I don't know. Y'all probably, you know. That's how you say it? Okay, thank you, John. I appreciate you, buddy. And then, yeah, I used to love me a good snow cone. Oh my God, I did not know they had salted caramel skillet. That sounds so good. Salted caramel cookies are one of my favorite type of cookies, y'all. Salted caramel with ice cream. Y'all ever been to BJ's? BJ's, what is it called? What's that restaurant called, y'all? BJ's Restaurant and Brew House. That's what it's called. BJ's Restaurant and Brew House. Oh my God, I love that place. The steak you had ate been dead a long time, I could tell. Okay. I don't know what that means. So bad it was got to go nice with your steak. So bad it was got to. Okay, friend. Thank you. PJ's Coffee Shop? No, BJ's. The Pizookie. Thank you, Tab. Yes. I love me a Pizookie. Yes. The salted caramel Pizookie. 10 out of 10. It's my favorite. For sure. So story time. My dad has like to drink every once in a while. Anyways. Or two of my Facebook. Okay, girl. Early, you're so hilarious. Hey, Lucifer, look, Lucifer, you at the end. You here at the end. Early, you are hilarious. I remember when I was, I think my mom let me drink alcohol purposely when I was like in middle school. I mean, high school maybe. I think. But yeah, so yeah, girl about to be a steak girl, a steak girly. Like, I don't know, I just never used to eat steak. I don't know why. I never ate steak. You late, friend. You definitely are, friend. You've been drinking since you were 16? What type of drinking? Like a little sippy sip or real drinking? Mind you, Outback Steakhouse, the drink that I got was like a lemonade drink. It was really good, y'all. Midwell. Okay. You can start drinking, girl. That's crazy. That's how I know where you from. You can start drinking at 14, 15. That's crazy. Who gonna buy it for you? They gonna buy it too? Your life wasn't that dramatic, like something small. Okay, friend. I mean, if it wasn't traumatic, I love that for you. I love that for you. You got steak and what, Meiana? I got a baked potato and broccoli. Let me not advertise. I'm about to show y'all a picture. I'm like, let me not advertise. We're not advertised for y'all. But the baked potato, I'm about to make me a baked potato for dinner. So I got lamb chops, and I've been meaning to make it for the past couple of days. So I'm gonna make me some lamb chops and a baked potato for dinner tonight. Because it's on my to-do list. I've been like, you need to do it. It's been in our freezer. I've been having it for a minute. I just have not been wanting to cook. Because I was supposed to make it yesterday. But then I said, oh, I'm going to go to Outback. So I went to Outback, and that was 10 out of 10. So where you stay? Because they got BJ's in Florida. I stay in Florida. Yes, a loaded baked potato. Yep. It was so good. I'm about to make me another one tonight. And I'm about to make bacon. I'm going to like make actual bacon and not like bacon bits. It's going to be 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Yes, Tab, I stay in Florida. You know. I stay in like the panhandle of Florida. You know where that is? Near Alabama. Shout out to Florida. I inspired you to book a hotel and an RV by my surroundings. Y'all, I still need to do my Q&A, y'all. It's on my to-do list. So y'all can do the Q&A. So y'all can ask me the questions. And I can answer them for y'all. Okay, Ab. Ab, I feel like you own something. What you own, friend? I'm keeping you here because you good for engagement. No, I don't eat bacon. I believe it's a sin. Oh, okay. Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, oh my God, I used to eat so much as a kid. I don't know what was going on with me as a kid. I used to eat so much. I used to be able to eat my plate and other people's plate too. And my favorite thing to eat as a kid was bacon. My favorite thing to eat as a kid was bacon. I loved it. It was so good. But I still love bacon to this day. I just ate bacon this morning for breakfast. I had 3 slices. I had bacon and then avocado bread, like bread with avocado. What they call it? Avocado toast. Avocado toast, but it wasn't toasted. It was just regular bread. And I put salt and pepper on it. It was so good. I got a tiny doorway vibe. I don't know what that means. Okay, good night. Good night, Ab. Hey, Jim. Welcome back to the live. Bacon is addictive? That's crazy. Tab, you had French toast? Oh, my God, y'all. Oh, my God, y'all. Oh, my God, y'all. Y'all not gonna believe this story. John and Rico, y'all not gonna believe this story. Y'all will not believe this story, y'all. I'm about to tell y'all something. Don't laugh at me, because I'm so traumatized. I'm so traumatized, y'all. If Airly's still here, she might know too. I don't know for sure. GR might, I don't know. Yeah, I'm so traumatized, y'all. I'm so traumatized, y'all. Y'all, let me tell y'all. So, Halloween, I went out. I got me a good massage. I was like, okay, this is a good day. I was really happy. I didn't go to work. I was like, oh my God. I went to IHOP. Mind you, I don't ever eat at IHOP. I don't ever eat there. It's like not a place that I go and just choose to eat. But I said, you know what? I want some breakfast. I want some French toast. I want some French toast. I went there. I ordered my meal. She brought the meal out to me. I looked at it. Y'all know I look at my food. I'm looking at my food. I'm looking at it to make sure everything's in there. It was this long string of hair in the fucking food. And I went back in there and she exchanged it. And I just was like, why do I have to go through this? Why do I have to go? I'm never going to IHOP again. Like, I don't even want to go to IHOP anymore. The French toast was pretty good, though. I'm not going to lie. The French toast was good. But I'm just not going to go there again. So, I'm just so tired of this. I don't get it. I'm like, why me? Why me? Why do I need to be punished? What did I do? I don't think I did anything wrong. At all. Why do I need to be punished and why do I have to suffer? Exactly, Rico. First Watch. Oh, First Watch. Oh, I like First Watch. That's the breakfast place. I like that place too. That's a good place to go to. And it's healthy. French bread, French toast. That sounds good. I like First Watch because it's healthy. It makes me feel like even when I eat, I'm full, but I'm not like craving. It's generational curses. At this point, John, at this point, it gotta be. It gotta be. Because why I gotta suffer? Why do I have to suffer? I don't get it. But I do like me a little breakfast brunch. Exactly. That's why I'm not going back to IHOP. Like, and that's, I already, the thing about it is that the place that I wanted to go to was closed already because they closed at 2:30. I should have just went to First Watch. That's where I should have went. But I didn't think about it. I was like, you know what? I want some breakfast, some brunch. This is close to me. Maybe it's your look. Maybe it is. They said she deserved it. Get her. Get her. IHOP was only good for pancakes. I don't eat pancakes, so I wouldn't know. I'm a French toast and waffle type of girl. If anything, I would probably prefer to eat toast over pancakes. Give me some toast with grape jelly or toast with avocados. Do you have Kiki's breakfast near you? I don't know. Let me see. Kiki Palmer. Oh, this look good. Oh, that look good. It's in Orlando. Grape jelly for sure. Man, Rico, I didn't even open it because you know IHOP's to go things are clear, so you can see everything in it. I didn't even have to open it. I just saw it. I said, you know what? Yeah, Ab. Don't visit here. Go visit somewhere else. You're gonna have a better time. Talking about shout out to Kiki Palmer. Ah, shout out to Kiki Palmer. John, don't be a snitch. Snitches get stitches. Remember that. Snitches get stitches. It's a lot of Kiki places out here in Orlando. I ain't never been there before. Y'all, but I am getting hungry, y'all. We talking about food. I'm getting real hungry. Really hungry. Let me see. What's the topic for, what is it, Friday? I've never been to Orlando. Topic list. YouTube buying. I told y'all already the other day, I'm scared of Florida. I am scared of Florida. Tab, I just told y'all I'm allergic to wine. I don't drink wine. If anything, I drink tequila with some pomegranate juice, and it tastes just like wine. I'm scared of Florida. What if the alligators come get me? What if the alligators come and get me? You scared of butterflies? You would be scared of something that transforms into something better. Something beautiful. Tab, yes, I'm trolling you, friend. I'm trolling you. Y'all. No, I do not stay in Florida. Maybe in a past life. Who knows? I'll be honest with you because I don't want to create any confusing narratives that repeat any unhealthy generational cycles into your life. So, yeah, totally. Totally do. Somebody was playing that song earlier. They was playing Party Like a Rock Star. I was like, damn, that's a good song. Your trust is broken. I think your trust has been broken. It's okay. So here is the conversation that we have. What's next? What do we want to talk about next? I think I want to talk about how society programs us to marry. Because it's the same way of like socialization and repeated narrative that we repeat. So I think it's kind of on the same wavelength. We was talking about this today, and we can talk about society Friday. Then you move on like it's nothing. You'll be fine. Close your eyes. Okay. Shout out to the Kikis. Kiki, do you love me? Money. Talk about that. Okay, that's definitely on topic. Tav, don't get your heart broken, friend. You need a hug, air hug, spiritual air hug. No, whatever you say. Okay. Ab, I would never tell you what black women are interested in. You have to do boots on the ground research. Tav is hilarious. You're hilarious. We're going to talk about that, how society programs us. And we're going to probably talk more specifically United States, since we are in the United States, most of us. And I'll try to do another, I'll try to research more about India maybe, since I think that's the second largest group of people who watch the channel is Indian people. And I think if I do India, it's close enough to other Middle Eastern countries for them to at least compare it. So we'll do those two. We'll focus on those two. You gonna leave? I am a United States citizen. I have to talk about where I come from. I'm a United States citizen. So we have so many more conversations to have, y'all. Are y'all excited? I'm excited. I'm about to go, y'all. I'm about to go. I'm about to go eat. I'm hungry. Like, seriously, I'm looking at this. I told you I was not going to do no ads, but man, this looks so good. Do you see that? Oh, delicious. I want it. Y'all. I just want to eat the screen. You talking about to block you. I'm going to blocking spree next time. Next time, we'll see how it goes. I'll go on a blocking spree next time. Okay, period. Now remember, y'all, I am a sage woman. I help people like you overcome feeling disconnected, being overwhelmed, being burnt out. If you've been feeling any of those things, book a free 15-minute consultation in the link below. You book that, I will identify at least one limiting belief that is going on in your noggin. And you'll look at me and you'll say, oh my God, never thought about it like that. And your life will be transformed for the better. So I'll see you guys later. I'll see you guys later. Okay, God Hook coming in with the compliments. Thank you, God Hook. Okay, thank you so much. So animals and birds pair for life or breeding. I think humans are meant to pair up, but marriage is not for everyone. I agree. GR said a fact. I'm a sage man, okay? Anywho, I'll talk to you guys later. I love you guys. I'll see you Friday. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your beautiful week. I hope amazing things happen for you guys. And I hope that somebody comes and gives you everything that you've been asking for. Or maybe you'll give it to yourself. Who knows? Talk to you later. Bye. Thank you.